Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Coney Island, which is in Brooklyn, New York. It's the bottom of Brooklyn, you know, last stop.
How did it shape the person you are today?
Growing up in Coney Island is not the most amusing thing that people like to think it is. You know, a lot of people see the rides and think it's all fun and games and circus clowns, but it's not. Behind me, you see a lot of the residential buildings. Coney Island is known for the beach, but if you do not swim against the current, you will drown out here. So it made me very rough.
Why the book?
The book was just a matter of time before I came up with something like that. Basically, it's the idea of all the things that I learned not to do, all the things that didn't serve me in my life, and I wanted to share that with my culture.
Why now?
Um, Now is just the time. This world is in such a crazy shift, and we're going into the weather, I should say, the culture that we're in. People need to be awakened to the fact that they're asleep in many aspects to themselves.
What's it about?
The book is about the broken urban mentality and how it works against us. Right? So I basically wanted to shed light on that with the culture.
Tell us about Motivational Monster.
I started Motivational Monsters in 2018. It's a nonprofit which I created to be a platform, a speaking platform. I created to be a speaking platform for people like myself that come from where I come from, that experience situations and hardships such as like I have, and probably other worse ones, to use their stories or speaking or creativeness to shed light to what they've gone through instead of glorify it.
Can you tell us one of the stories that best gave you some insight into this?
I could tell you a little brief overview of why I think like this. Is basically growing up and being filled with the falsity of the self and glorifying this lifestyle of the broken urban mentality that says, I am what I wear, I'm cool if I'm accepted, I'm a part of things that are popular and dangerous. These things don't work for us. And so basically, after exploring that lifestyle and putting myself in severe dangerous situations, whether it be dating, whether it be gang membering or gang affiliates, hustling and just running the streets, none of those things brought me closer to what I believe is my higher version of self. It only put me in danger. It only caused for me to hurt others and hurt myself.
How did you get into the self-help world?
I started to not like the person I had become. I didn't like who I was. I didn't like the fact that the people that I depended on and loved were either no good for me or they weren't no good for themselves. And I no longer wanted to be a part of that life. So I started to help myself change, and that caused for me to see. And it's the same way as when you love somebody, you want to share something with them. And so I love my culture, so I share what I've learned.
What made you change your ways?
Like, basically just knowing that it wasn't going to bring me to my higher self, seeing that there's no avenue to the higher Janessa Rose. There was no avenue to anything that I was engaged in. There was no avenue to that.
What's next for you?
I plan to build in the community, in the urban community. I plan to build facilities. I plan to build programs that show and teach, well, I should say share this experience with others and help them become comfortable with healing themselves. It's supposed to be cool to heal, not stay in our toxicity.
Why is the broke urban mentality so prevalent in today's culture?
Because it's what's keeping us in this secular behavior of poison. You see so many people waste so much time on how important it is for us to be this way or that way, not realizing it's the culture that's feeding us this poison. So right now you need to understand that you can't really help nobody unless you help yourself. And that all starts with the belief system.
What is your favorite part of the book, and why?
My favorite part of the book is the concept is in each chapter is the overall mentality. It's the broken urban mentality, period. Just breaking down how each belief system stems from this paradigm of it's cool or acceptable. I love how I break down where it comes from. Like it comes from lack, it comes from scarcity, it comes from fear. That's my favorite part of exposing each one of the chapters.
What do you hope the reader gets from this book?
I hope hope that the reader, which, I hope each reader understands and sees themselves in these chapters, because we've been these people, we've been these characteristics. This is the culture that we come from. We believe that this is acceptable, and if you can't see it within yourself, you definitely will see it within your generation, maybe the people before you, or your friends, or your family. So I just hope for people to get a view of their truest self and start to heal.
What's your overall plan or strategy for for the broken urban mentality?
My overall plan is that everybody starts taking severe accountability for their own actions. When you're understanding where you're hurt, where you're broke, what trauma belongs to you, you stop projecting that outside of self, because projecting it outside of self really doesn't takes your power away. You can't change any of the energy outside of self. So my plan is just to share how it's helped me and to be an example of that. That's the best way that I can help anyone heal.